This is the YouTube edition of my book, A Course in Miracles Workbook Nuggets, which is a study aid for the course's workbook for students. I'll begin by reading my book's commentary on today's lesson over a visual of the book's text. I'll then return with some further thoughts on the lesson, which are only included in this YouTube edition of my book. Today's lesson is part of a 10-lesson group that runs from lesson 341 through lesson 350, each of which relates to a miracle as understood in the Course. I'll be repeating this same introduction for each of lessons 341 through 350, so you can skip past this introduction in the future if you like. Timestamps taking you directly to today's Workbook Nuggets commentary and my further comments are provided in the description below. In the Course, a miracle is not a spectacular or otherworldly demonstration of divine power. It is simply a correction of perception, a change of perception that sees through the fear of the illusion to the reality of love beneath. The introduction, which precedes these 10 lessons, begins with the following words, quote, "A miracle is a correction. It does not create nor really change at all. It merely looks on devastation and reminds the mind that what it sees is false." End quote. Today's lesson from my book and my further thoughts, which are only contained in this YouTube edition of the book, follow. A link to the book on Amazon.com is provided below. Lesson number 347, December 13. Anger must come from judgment. Judgment is the weapon I would use against myself to keep the miracle away from me. We are afraid to succeed in the Course. There is a strong part of us that does not want to understand its lessons. We fear that if we do, we will lose our life as we know it. Indeed, we will, but consider what we lose and what we gain. We trade temporary illusions for eternal peace and joy. The title of today's lesson is Anger Must Come from Judgment. Judgment is the weapon I would use against myself to keep the miracle away from me. The lesson title tells us that judgment is a weapon that we use against ourselves. When you judge, even when you are judging favorably, you are setting something off by itself in your mind and coming to some conclusion about it. In other words, you are separating it, isolating it from everything else. Can you see why this is a weapon being used against yourself, your real eternal self, as the child of God who knows no separation? There is no separation in the kingdom. Separation is the hallmark of the illusion. If you are focusing on something or someone in isolation, you are conscious in the world, the illusion, not the kingdom. And that is fine. We all must live in the world. It would be impossible to live here, as we all must, if we did not acknowledge the different things and people that inhabit the illusion. But the Course is training us to see the reality beneath that separation as well. While in a body, you cannot fully escape the illusion, nor would you want to. But you can remember that you are not seeing the full picture. You can remember the kingdom beneath, hiding in plain sight. So we need to be careful about anger. It is a sure sign that you are focusing on some individual item or situation in the illusion. And anger tends to overwhelm. It is difficult to remember the love and kingdom beneath the surface illusion when you are overcome with anger. So if you feel anger, just stop, slow down. Remember that a miracle can come only if you are looking out with the eyes of Christ, if you are looking out with love. An ego, especially an ego overcome with anger, cannot see miracles. It sees only our difficult and conflicted world. It sees only separate things battling in the illusion. As our lesson title tells us, anger must come from judgment. Judgment is the weapon I would use against myself to keep the miracle away from me. Don't take the bait. Anger and miracles can never coexist.